Yes, I'm still here, Hollywood. And coming up on today's episode,
people got a hold of my email address, and I got all kinds of questions. And so I put a post on my Facebook page saying, here's what happened. And I told them, I lied to management. They didn't fancy that, and I was out. And they refused to let me say goodbye to the audience. I had an agent who said, Steve, I got to talk to you. You've passed your sell-by date. So I got a job for a while working in an Apple store. I would sell iPads and iPhones.
So how did this podcast come about? Because everybody I know is very excited about it.
Oh.
When I hear about it. Steve Weber says hi. Tim Daly says, call him.
As a longtime entertainment reporter, I'm accustomed to asking the questions. The rule has been, if you're holding the microphone, your job is to find out about the person you're aiming the mic at. Well, today's a little different. I was asked to leave Hollywood 20 years ago. Let's just say it wasn't my choice. Then again, to say that my life has been a struggle after leaving the red carpets and anchor chair would be overstating things a little. I knew the job was dangerous when I took it. This is Still Here Hollywood, and today I'll tell the story that I've never told fully. In recovery, you learn you're only as sick as your secrets. So with that in mind, I'm leaving the questioning to friend of the show, actor Amy Yasbeck. Hello, Amy. It's so nice of you to do this.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, I don't know how well I'm going to get through this.
You know what?
We'll see. I was practicing answers all night, laying in bed.
Without knowing the questions?
Without knowing the questions.
I'm going to go with my third choice on all the questions now.
Okay.
You're screwed, buddy. I have a question for you.
Yes.
You were there, you were a part of everyone's everything. I knew you, your name, Kmetko. I like it. It's got the comedy like Yasbeck. And then you were gone. I mean, you weren't gone, but you were gone out of the scene, whatever the scene is.
Right.
And I just remember thinking, oh, he must have hit it big somewhere. Won the lottery, married a very rich, handsome guy. He's gone. But I know there's more to the story than that, and that isn't the story at all.
Oh, no.
Would you say you were
booted? Yes.
Shown the door?
Yes.
Called on the carpet? Given your pink slip? Oh, your pink slip is showing.
Yes.
Okay.
My pink slip was showing.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? When I was at E and they were renegotiating my contract.
Yeah. What year is this?
Please. Rude.
Come on. If I remember it, it's not so rude.
2002.
Got it.
They were renegotiating my contract. And so there was a kid who used to follow me and liked my work, and he created a website for me.
Okay.
So
like a fan website?
Yes, it was very well done.
A fan site?
Yes.
Okay. The words are all different now.
They are.
Idea. Yeah.
And so I would post things on there from time to time. I could respond to viewers' questions, and so when they were renegotiating my contract, and believe me, at the time I told everybody I had the best job there was. I really loved that job.
I know, and it showed, and that's why we loved you.
Oh, well, thank you. But I put on there to the viewers out there, if you like my work and want to see me continue, I'd appreciate you writing to management and just saying, we like Steve. Management did not like that at all.
So you put that on the website?
Right.
Oh, so it wasn't that, okay.
And I was asked point blank if I had done that on one of the company computers. And I couldn't, it was in such a confrontational manner that I couldn't remember offhand immediately where I typed that up. But I didn't, I didn't know I was.
If you had written that on a company computer on your personal website? Okay. Go on. I feel like I'm going to be your lawyer here in a second.
So
continue.
So they went to the IT department and learned that I indeed had written that on a computer at work, and they felt that was a violation of something. And so...
of what? Did you ever hear exactly what the violation was?
Intellectual property.
Oh, IP got in there.
Yeah, I was their property. And,
And
so...
you were an intellectual.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
And so, I said I didn't. They found out I did.
Yeah.
And they said they couldn't have a newsman, Entertainment Television, a newsman.
A newsman, a journalist.
Yes. They couldn't have me lying like that.
Wait a minute. Were they waiting to take you down?
Yes, I think so.
Because you were, here's a question. You said they were negotiating. So you were negotiating with them.
My agent was, yeah, my manager.
Was he asking for money that you were
He
owed,
asked.
or
He was
more?
quite frankly, he was asking for more money than I thought I deserved. He was asking for $1 million a year.
Which is what people get.
Well, now, but back in 2002, I'm not certain they did, and I'm not certain any of them were really worth it. It's gotten out of hand.
So you think that played into it?
Oh,
They
I
were
know it played
looking
into
for
it.
something like, oh my God.
One way or another, I felt
That's-
they were looking to get rid of me. I called my agent, and he said to me, "Steve, what you need to do is go upstairs and throw yourself on the mercy of the court, and say, you made a mistake. You should have told them, right off the top." And I did that, and this person said to me, "I knew you had integrity. I knew you'd come around." And then I got a call. I remember I got a call in the car on my way home from my agent saying, "They're still firing you." Oh, you mean I didn't have to throw myself on the mercy of the court? So it was one of those things.
I don't like that at all. It seems like if she could have used that even as a negotiating chip in the...
I always wanted to come to Hollywood in some capacity. I fancied myself an entertainer of some kind, but that was not encouraged in my household. So,
In front of the camera, somehow.
In front of the camera, somehow.
Did you take acting classes and stuff?
Yeah, but not seriously.
Me too. For real.
I took voice lessons.
Oh, okay. Well, that paid off. But
sang in Dad's church.
I think you always had the voice for it.
I suppose.
I'm telling
My
you.
father was a minister, and I used to listen to him in the pulpit every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday.
The heck?
Oh, yeah, it was
What
one of
church
those
was
churches.
that?
Baptist.
Oh, yeah, right. No dancing.
No drinking, no smoking.
No dancing.
No cards.
No.
No movies.
No having sex standing up. Someone might think you're dancing. That's the way it was told to me.
There's a line in that movie, Lady Bird, where the nun says, 6 inches apart, she sees them dancing.
It's true.
Anyway.
They need to see daylight between
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I know. Catholic stuff I can relate to.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. And they refused to let me say goodbye to the audience. So that's
and
why.
there was in 2000. I'm sorry, I'm jumping on you, but the thing is, nowadays somebody would say, "No, you can't say goodbye to the audience," and you're like, "Really? Watch this. Hello, everybody." Not that you're doing this. I guess you're doing beep 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 beep, but there was no direct connection. You didn't have an Instagram or a thing where people who liked you could see. We couldn't see what was going on.
Right. So
Here we go.
yeah.
And here we are.
I eventually, because so many people contacted me through the website, and then somehow or another, I don't know how they do it. I'm not that bright.
Through your agent, it happens.
Well, and people got a hold of my email address, and I got all kinds of questions. And so I put a post on my Facebook page saying, "Here's what happened," and I told them, I lied to the management. They didn't fancy that, and I was out.
I have sinned.
Yes.
Who was that?
I don't
Remember
know.
that guy?
I have
Preacher.
sinned.
I have sinned.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Swaggart.
That's it.
Oh, I just spit on you. It's okay.
That's what happened. And I was gone. And I tried to find...
But here's the thing. You say you were gone. You weren't gone.
No.
You were gone out of our consciousness. What happened? Did you move out of town?
Not immediately. I stayed here. I tried to find work. And what I was told over and over again was, you're the face of E. You're too closely associated with E. I could never understand why I couldn't do the same job someplace else. But, maybe that was just an excuse that I was being given. Hollywood is rich with excuses.
Yes. And they're like, we all have them, and they all thank.
Yeah.
I feel like I personally don't understand. I would like the face of E to be on my, that's your bona fides, your
Yeah.
bona fides.
Bona fides.
So you moved eventually out of Los Angeles?
Yeah, I moved back to Chicago. I couldn't find any work here. I did some freelance work for the local Fox station, KTTV, Channel 11.
Yes. I know it well.
And, after doing what I had dreamed of doing, entertainment reporting, to suddenly be covering brush fires again was not my thing.
They had you out in the yellow slipper?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Getting calls, first thing in the morning, we have got a brush fire in Malibu, you need to get out there.
Malibu is smoldering.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So it
Right,
just...
so you were like this,
Yeah.
because that feels weird.
I'd been there, done that.
And did Chicago appreciate you?
My parents did, and that's the reason I went back there.
Why? What?
Because they were both old
Yeah.
and in declining health.
Yeah, and you can't get those moments back.
No, and Dad died at age 92,
Wow.
and Mom died at 98. So I was
Glad you're
there.
taking care of yourself because you got great genes.
I don't know about that.
You do.
They're a little tight these days.
Yes, that's all right. Oh, your genes.
Yes.
Jordache joke. Remember, people
so
used
I
to
was-
lay on the bed and pull up their jeans like this? Was that
Yes.
this girl was horrible?
Nothing comes between Brooke Shields and her Jordache.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
No, they don't. We're of the same.
Yes.
We know all of the things. And I feel like Chicago, while you were there and caring for your parents, did you seek out work or did people...
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no.
Actually, I had an interview at the morning show at WBBM, and
BM. Sorry.
and it went very well, I thought.
Yeah.
And they talked to me after the interview. They had a new show they called Monsters and Money in the Morning.
The F?
Alliteration.
What's the monsters part?
Well, the monsters of the Midway. The Bears are known as the monsters of the
Oh,
Midway.
okay. No. I didn't.
Sports,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm from Cincinnati. Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah.
So they talked to me afterwards, and they said, "We'd love to have you join the show because I could talk about Hollywood stuff when that came
Yes.
up." And then here's the capper. They told me, "But we can't pay you anything."
Wait, what? Anything?
Anything?
What?
Yes, that was my
It'll
reaction.
be great for your reel.
Right. I don't need great stuff for I have great stuff for my reel.
No,
yeah,
but I
it was
mean,
very strange.
How? You were there. You saw it. People make bad decisions. They were playing on what they probably felt was your
Weak time. At a weak point.
desperation or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the idea of having somebody that had this national show and then having them there, I think the other reporters would be like, oh, God, we're going to get fired because they're bringing in Kmetko. That's so weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Okay. Did you have the same agent? Or did you? You didn't
No,
have
I think I had a different agent at that point.
Yeah, they must have been like, what the heck is going on?
And I had
Oh, no.
I had
Manager?
an agent who said, Steve, I got to talk to you. You've passed your sell-by date.
What?
Yeah, I'm certain you've experienced it too. There's a lot to do with ageism and
But there's a difference between your sell-by date and your expiration date.
Right,
I believe
there
Steve
is.
Weber touched on this.
yes.
It's true.
So, and I was really glad to be there for my parents.
Of course.
I took Mom to the hospital the last time she rode in a car,
Right.
and Dad too. And I was there when both of them died. I was
and
right
you
there.
would've- and you would have
So-
missed that. I get that. And and looking back,
Yeah.
there's certain things in my life too where I didn't do what I thought I should be doing, but actually I was very needed for a family thing. And now I'm like, everybody's good, hire me. It happens. So how did you handle it there? Not well.
No, it was such a change in my life, such a big change in my life.
Self-medicating.
Oh, I did a lot of that. Yeah.
Who can blame? But some people get away with it.
I suppose they do,
They
but
drug a little, they drink a little, and they don't have, again, the genes that are going to make them stick with it.
there was a history in my family of alcoholism.
Same.
So, at that time, I don't remember anybody saying, there's people in your family who are
No,
drinkers.
it wasn't a thing like that because
No.
people didn't talk about it.
Nope. No. So,
Plus, there was no warning associated with that. It's like we don't talk about this person because they effed up.
So I got a job for a while working in an Apple store.
Blue shirt. Oh, that's Best Buy.
No,
Remember
they had
blue
blue
shirt?
shirts, they had red shirts, all kinds of shirts. But I remember a person coming in.
I can't imagine walking in. I'd be like, you look just like this really sexy guy that used to be on TV, and he had glasses, and he was gay in the old days.
Right.
And it was so cool, and we all loved him.
And I was the oldest salesperson on the floor there. And I had customers would come up and say, "Are you the token old guy?" And yeah, I guess I am. That's me. And so
That's no fun.
I would sell iPads and iPhones and
I would have
MacBook
bought
Pros.
so many from you.
It was fun.
It
while
was
it
fun,
lasted.
but the alcohol gets in the way of everything.
Well, I would
Just how you
stop
feel.
at the end of a work day. On my way home, there was a liquor store I always stopped at, and I'd buy a big bottle of Johnny Walker Black,
Jeez.
and I'd go
Straight
home,
for it.
and I would
You
drink.
were not sipping Baileys
No, I'd drink the entire bottle sitting on the edge of my bed.
because you needed the effect of it. I get it.
And then I would, wash down a Xanax or a sleeping pill.
Lucky to be alive,
Lucky
Marilyn.
to be alive. Yes,
Do you know what I mean? You are. But
so
also, you wanted to knock yourself out.
that's right.
You didn't want to think about, I get it.
Yeah, my cousin asked me if, why did you drink so much?
Are you kidding?
Were you drinking to get drunk? And I said, no, I was drinking to black out.
black
That's
out.
what I didn't want to have to think about anything.
It's-
And to this day, I leave my TV on all night long.
Same.
Because if I wake up in the middle of the night and there's no sound or my head starts going,
I relate to this so much. I am not an alcoholic, don't like alcohol, again, because there were people in my family. So, and you can go one way or the other. But the thing of, I do crossword puzzles all night and on my iPad till I fall asleep, just trying to keep my mind someplace else. And I do keep the TV on. And that is definitely part of that. You wake up and you're alone with yourself and you start ruminating. It's about that's a lot of it.
everywhere I go, there I am. You know?
Exactly. I would go anywhere you are.
Oh, thank you.
No, you got to be one of the most interesting men in America.
Don't go that far.
Are you kidding me? You've had the total American experience.
I had a great experience.
Success.
I had a
Not
great
had,
life.
You still are. But I mean, you've got super success. This also kind of groundbreaking. I mean, you were out.
Yeah, I was.
That was cool. That was cool for so many people.
Well,
I'm straight, I guess. I don't know. The night is young. But I mean that to me, to like the people that I worked with, and that was really cool.
I lost a job once because I was gay in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which has a very solid Dutch Christian Reform community.
It does.
And the general manager there, when he found out, somebody took it upon themselves to tell him that I was gay, just as they were about to give me a promotion to the weeknight anchor.
I think it was probably the person who took your job.
They brought somebody else in.
That somebody else told on you.
And the schedule was drawn up and everything. The newsroom secretary, Arlene, lovely woman, showed it to me and said, "Here, look at, you're getting the promotion."
What kills me about that, even though it's technically not my fight, but I consider myself a A+ ally for all the reasons people know and don't know, that know and don't know, is statistically in that newsroom, 1 out of 10 people there, gay, in management, in this, probably, not out, and it's almost more terrifying when that you go farther, you see somebody that who loses their job or whatever, pilloried in some old Dutch sense or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it pushes people like farther back.
And Amy, I went through so many acrobatic tricks.
Yeah.
To try and remember all the time what pronoun I'm using. Do you have a girlfriend? Yes, yeah, she lives in another
Canada.
city. Yeah.
Oh, that's the classic.
Right,
Right.
it happened all the time, time.
And that is where, listen, I would have started drinking the first time I had a crush on a boy if I were you. Like, oh, this is going to be tough. My whole life, and I know that. And I think a lot of people with any kind of a difference, but especially when we grew up, you had to cope with that. And that's a huge other fight you're fighting with yourself and with the world while you're doing everything else. So actually, you are multitasking.
Hey, I could talk to my brother because he's gay as well. And
Love
he's
him.
older.
Love it.
And I remember when I was asked to come up to the general manager's office to talk, I called my brother beforehand, and he said, just be honest with them. It's all you can do, because if you don't be honest with them, they'll find out
But
somehow.
he's not in show business?
Oh, no.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're becoming
So-
the face of the news, the face of the this.
And when I did come out, I was interviewing Susan Sarandon once, and this is how it kind of came out on E.
Oh, tell
I
me.
was interviewing Susan Sarandon, and it was about the movie Stepmother, which is kind of a tearjerker.
For sure.
And she asked me how I liked the movie. And I said to her, well, I got up before the lights came up so nobody'd see me crying. And she said, oh, Steve, if women can see you cry and that you have emotions, they'll line up around the block. And I said, but I'm gay. And she said, oh, well, they like that even more.
And she's right.
And we used that sound.
Wait, so that wasn't live?
No, that wasn't live.
So
It was
you
taped.
chose to, and
Yes.
your bosses chose to?
Yeah. I did have one boss saying, you could have told us you were going to do that. But no, there was no real problem.
No real problem.
Not there. CBS had kind of a problem with it, but
And that didn't have anything to do with later on contract negotiations, telling a fib about your website. You don't think that played into it?
no. Nope. Everybody at E knew. I was much more open there. And then...
Well, E was kind of hip.
It was once upon a time.
Yes. I mean, it was when there were 6 channels or however that worked. Yeah, I agree.
Then what happened with Matthew Shepard,
Yeah.
the young kid, the
course.
college student who was gay and beaten and left for dead.
Yeah.
Just a horrible story. And I began thinking to myself, what if, someone out there knows you're gay, they see you in their living rooms every night, hopefully, but you could make a difference. So I just decided to be more open then. The Advocate, the gay
Yeah.
magazine, came to me and said, we'd like to do a cover story on you. And I put it off and put it off and put it off. And then finally,
I remember
when
that.
that happened, I thought, well, I'll do this. And
You must have had your dance card filled too, or were you with somebody?
no, not
Okay.
really. It's funny then. I gotta tell you, my manager was gay, my agent
Exactly.
was gay, and they were all telling me, you can't do that.
That's
you
what I'm saying.
cannot do that.
Yeah, that's career suicide.
Yep. And now you have Anderson Cooper, you have Andy Cohen, you have, all these
What?
people.
They're gay?
Yes. Haven't you watched New Year's Eve?
I've watched all of it with great, absolute joy. And also thinking, God, John would have loved this world where people can just be. And a lot of times, it's like, are there a lot of gay people in show business? Yeah, for whatever reason, there is. And the fact that somebody would not have to hide is liberating for everybody, straight people too, because there are straight people that have to keep someone's secret or be a beard for somebody because they...
I was
so
in a
be-
relationship, a long-term relationship. It lasted 14 years. And there were times when that was a bad move on my part.
Which one?
Great guy. Leaving him.
Oh, yeah.
That was dumb.
Dumb.
But, I was afraid to take him anywhere with me.
It breaks your own heart. You're breaking your own heart when you do that.
Yeah, I know.
understand.
But Ann Curry, I used to work with Ann Curry from the Today Show.
Yes, of course.
We shared an office at CBS, and I would call on her. She knew the whole story. I would call on her, and she would go with me places,
Yeah.
and I would go with her places.
I've been people's Ann Curry. A lot.
She's a terrific lady. We'll be back in a moment.
You ever had a serious relationship with a woman?
I was married.
What the what? You ever had a serious relationship with a woman?
I was married.
What the what?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yep.
How old were you when you were married? How old did you feel when you were married?
I was 22 when I got married.
That's a kid.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
50 years ago.
And where were you living?
Chicago.
Right.
She was a member of my father's church.
Yep, this all tracks, right?
And Dad performed the ceremony. My sister made the wedding gown. So it was it was difficult.
It was performative.
Yeah.
And important to your family, and you were leaning into that. And your community at the time, that community. But you had a bigger community to speak to as you got older.
To service.
Easy.
Sorry.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I have a question. So I know that when you were having a hard time and you went back and you lost your job here and you started drinking, but had you had alcohol before then?
There was no alcohol in our house growing up.
I'm talking about when you lived out here and when you were working. Were you just kind of a social drinker and then you just ramped it up, or did you just...
I was a social drinker, but, thinking back on it, whenever I went to any functions, I was...
Had a couple first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
to hear that click, as they would say, that, yeah, I get that.
And I was usually the last to leave the party.
Because that's where the social drinking was.
Even then, I was drinking more than I thought was dangerous.
So, I mean, the idea that nobody ever says, I was an alcoholic, or I recovering alcohol. And how long have you been sober?
I was sober at one point for 10 years. And then when I moved back to Chicago, and after I'd lost my job here, then I started ramping up again. But right now, I just marked 7 or 8 years sobriety.
My God. Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
It's not vodka.
No. H2O, folks.
H2O. Excellent.
So, I'm spilling my guts.
I like your guts. I think your guts are fucking interesting, and I want to hear more about your guts.
You used the F word.
I did. Finteresting. Oh, I see what you mean, fucking. So your health has been good, on and off. You've struggled with stuff like everybody does, but I know you had like an actual event in 2022.
Yeah.
Which I know a little bit about. And
a year and a half
you
ago.
Mind talking about it?
No, I don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
I had a stroke.
Jesus.
I had gone to my dentist and nothing.
And yet here you sit.
Yeah,
so
here I sit.
You
so
survived it.
Well, the doctor said, did you buy a lottery ticket that day?
Honestly.
I said, no. Why?
Why?
Because you're lucky to be alive.
You got quick treatment?
I got very quick treatment, and I was taken to a hospital by an ambulance that they were one of the very few hospitals in the area that actually did this procedure where they go in and they're able to dissolve the stroke.
Because you got there fast. The stroke protocol, I know about. American Heart Association talks about that. But that's when
it was lucky.
When it was happening, did you know you were having a stroke?
I knew something was wrong because I had been at my dentist's appointment. I had a dentist appointment that day. And as I was leaving, I couldn't seem to understand what the guy at the reception counter was saying to me about writing a check or where's your credit card.
It wasn't connecting in there.
Nothing.
It was blowing
Nothing.
Up. God.
And I couldn't make myself understood. So I left. I got in my car.
Were you aphasic? Were you not able to say it, or you weren't able to understand? Could he understand what you were saying? Do you know?
What I remember is that he kept looking at me like, what don't you understand? So.
Okay. So he was talking and you were just.
Not comprehending.
Oh, that's so scary. You must have been scared.
I wasn't really scared until I drove away. How does that make you feel?
Not good.
Somebody having a stroke driving.
My brother was having a heart attack and drove himself to the hospital. I'm like,
really?
pull over. But you guys.
Well, I was having trouble driving.
Yeah.
And I pulled into a gas station because I knew enough that I was almost out of gas. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to put the pump in the gas tank. And
So these tasks that are usually by rote and just you don't think you're doing something else, you can multitask.
well, and while I was trying to do that,
Yeah.
I fell at the gas pump. Oil over everything. Had to throw those clothes away.
You should use Dawn, the blue Dawn. It gets everything out. It cleans your glasses, and if you are an otter, it can clean you. Go ahead.
Fortunately, there was an attendant there who recognized something was wrong,
Yeah, think?
and he called the ambulance.
Oh my God, thank God.
And I just remember bits and pieces of the ambulance driver saying, "Come on, yeah, no, we got to get you up," picking me up, pulling my shirt off, all that stuff, and then taking me to the hospital and the same kind of thing. You're having a stroke. I really didn't know until my brother came to visit me in the hospital. Well, how are you recovering from the stroke?
It's like,
stroke?
I had a what, a
I had
what?
a stroke? Right.
I thought I slipped in oil.
Yeah. That
Did
was
you-
pretty
and-
shocking to
But
hear.
that was recently. That was 2022.
Yeah.
In the years before that, health-wise, I mean, did you do, if you want to say, did you do other substances?
Substances? Yeah,
Oh, what? Like,
sure I did.
Substances, the way you say that?
Mind-altering substances?
Did
Yes,
you?
I did.
Because you said you did Xanax and stuff like that, but that's prescription. I mean, you can abuse that, and it's hell to get off of, from what I hear. I'm lucky enough I haven't slipped down that road. Again, the night is young. Guide me, Obi-Wan.
Guide
what
me,
did
O
you
thy
do?
great Jehovah.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. Did you do the little nose candy?
Oh, yes.
Because that was in L.A. or even back in Chicago?
No, in L.A. In L.A. I did.
A lot of people that I've met that did that, it was almost, when you talk about self-medicating, and you can't really go by, here's the self-medication and here's what it was medicating. But a lot of time that's depression. Cocaine, because if you're, and I actually deal with depression. I have medication for depression. I have not self-medicated. I have professionally medicated. My mom was bipolar. But when it slips through and you have that feeling, it's almost like you're, for me, frozen. Even like getting up and like hitting the alarm and turning it off, much less going on a red carpet and doing this. I get it. I don't recommend it. It's none of my business. But the idea that has something that gives you
Yep.
confidence,
A little lift.
confidence, because people who have, like, dare say, I and you have the kind of gift of gab, it happens naturally, but sometimes you need to, like, get it started. And it seems like, I understand why people do stimulants in this business, but again, that can really F you up. Did you do it a lot? Did you hurt your nose? Some people, like, there's a hole between here and here.
Yeah, I went to a great ear, nose, and throat guy in Beverly Hills, Joey Singer. And I think the first time I went to see him, he said, "You have a deviated septum." Oh? Knock off that stuff, Steve.
Oh, yeah, because they would be able to tell. So it deviated from the...
Yeah,
He might have had it before.
I might have.
He might have seen He might have seen a $100 bill stuck up there. Steve, you really got to knock that off. I'm sorry I spit on you
Yeah,
again.
that's what he
But
said.
it means we're engaged.
Okay.
We have to get married now. It's your second time. I think this marriage is going to work out for you.
Well,
with
maybe
me.
after this we can pick out our silver or something.
Oh, that's adorable. I don't even have a kitchen table, but go ahead. I'm basically a bachelor.
Good for you.
Thank you. So, how did this podcast come about? Because everybody I know is very excited about it.
Oh.
When I hear about it, Steve Weber says hi. Tim Daly says, call him.
Well, that's very nice. We have a producer sitting over here who I've become very fond of, who happened to call me and ask if I would be, or it was asked me actually why I didn't do something like this.
Yeah.
And at some point later, he said he would be involved. He takes care of absolutely everything, and he's so organized.
Oh,
and I
don't
knew
have that.
of him, and he's very good. He's very, very good. And so this was like a gift. And I'm having a great time doing it because I really missed being here in Hollywood.
We missed
Oh,
you.
thank
No,
you, Amy.
honest to God. I have a pin I was looking for that I had from years ago. I couldn't find it because I am not organized. And I think it was supposed to be Max Headroom. Remember Max? It's a TV, and it's got like this perfect guy there with perfect hair. And I always thought, I called it my Kmetko pin. I got to find it. When I find it, I'll send you a picture of it.
I have one like that too, actually, a pin like that.
Do you?
Yes.
Where did you get it? Judy's?
It was
Judy's.
I don't know. It was a gift because they thought it looked like me. So
I bet it's the same one.
Might be.
It's a TV?
Yep.
And the guy's in the corner?
Yep.
It's kind of flat gold? What?
Oh, I think it's more like pewter.
Oh, well, I got the gold one. Mine was $4. I don't know about you.
I'm glad I'm here, I'll say.
Everybody's glad you're here, and it might just be your family's genetics, and you're just tough as freaking nails because you tried to beat yourself into submission a couple times without really mindfully doing that.
Right.
But that, yeah, and you can't, you're too cool to disappear.
Well, I was the youngest of 5 children.
Same.
And my brother and I are the only 2 who survive. I had 3 sisters who all passed away.
And you and your brother?
Yeah.
Something about being gay must be good for you.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when you lose people and you're fit, like I've told you, I lost my parents at a very young age. That kind of rumination and the what if stuff kind of bleeds over and feeds into, and it could go 2 ways. It could be live today, tell everybody you like, there's positive parts of that when you learn at a younger age, or you learn that things can be cut short and you don't wait to tell people how you feel about them. All that stuff is good. But it also kind of makes you shaky in terms of what am I doing here? How long do I do this? Is this a superfluous job? Is this ego? Is this what? But the thing about you, and I'm going to blow smoke up your ass if you want to adjust your chair, is you can genuinely enjoy people. I feel like there are celebrity journalists, people that hate actors or something. There's like a little bit of like just waiting to. Never got that from you, like not that kind of gossipy thing. Not that if you and I would have been sitting around, the table at Nate Now's, we wouldn't have been gossiping a little or something. God, Nate Now's. You want to go there after this?
Oh, sure.
Okay. But you always were kind of pro-actor and pro-creative. And I think that's a big difference because some people pretend that, but you were like that from the word go.
Well, I just think it's fun to be around talented people, Not that we were that close. There was always a distance. I saw someone socially once. Whoopi Goldberg invited me to a birthday party at her home once. And she has been so kind to me.
She's the best.
Yeah, she really is.
She loved John, too. She and John got along great.
She was terrific. But people kind of think that they see you with these people and that you're friends or something, and you're not really friends.
Maybe. That's that. What I'm saying is the fact that what you're saying could be 100% true. I never felt that from you. And I never felt that the actors, when you would interview them, now they're actors, so who knows, we're creepy. But that when you didn't have like a resentment again, I wish I was an actor, or you're not going to invite me to your party. That really does come through. You see it sometimes. And you never had that, and I think that's why people dug you.
I learned at
continue to dig you.
I learned at CBS and also at E in the beginning. One of the things that frustrates me, one of the things I don't like is when I see after a big event like the Oscars,
yes,
all these pictures all these selfies that reporters manage to take with the stars.
It's so weird.
I've had a few pictures put up on my Facebook account.
Yeah.
But they were never initiated by me.
Yeah.
I didn't say, can we take a selfie?
No, it's like photographers are taking pictures and Getty or somebody.
And somebody sends it to you
Steve,
or something.
That is 100% because people, I mean, it's so weird. You had a website and they're like, you get out of here. Now everybody has to do their own promotion and their own publicity. So people, even reporters, have their Instagram, their this, their TikTok, whatever. And for them to be in the picture, it's very removed from journalism, whatever.
Yeah.
But do the actors mind it? I don't know.
I don't know either. But, what is that saying I hear all the time now? If you don't post it, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Pick or it didn't happen.
Yes.
I know. Which is, there's lots of pictures of you being awesome in LA, so apparently it did happen. Is this our wedding ring?
No,
Psyched.
I bought this for myself. I did a story on a jeweler, a jewelry designer.
Come here. Promise ring. There you go. Meet me at Nate Now's. There's some free sauerkraut in it.
I can't wear a stone on a pinky ring.
I think
People will think I'm gay. Or in the mob, one or the other.
no. One.
Thanks, Amy.
No, thank you. Cheers again?
Okay. If
I
you
hate when the
insist.
kids say, let's cheers. That's not what it is. It's a toast. Let's toast.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Kids. Get out of here.
Still Here Hollywood is a production of the Still Here Network. All things technical run by Justin Zangerle. Theme music by Brian Sanashin.